What's up, anyone listening? This is Higher Dialogue with Joe Capone and myself, James Winslow. The goal of this podcast is to try to shed light upon any possible consequences of the overuse of technology, social media, exploring the internet, things like that. We both believe this is a underdeveloped idea or topic, and definitely needs some exploring. So.
Fair enough. All right, go for it, bud. Say what you have to say.
One of the biggest ideas I have for this is just the fact that technology, or more specifically social media, kind of deteriorates our curiosity. So good example I like to use is the Discover page on any like Instagram or Twitter or whatever, or Snapchat. It's like basically a replacement for going out and actually like seeing shit and doing stuff. So just like an endless feed that feeds you dopamine and keeps you strapped in, So that's definitely something that I want to explore. And also I want to talk about the possible effects of this. So this could, I think, eventually lead to a decrease in the relevance of religion, most definitely, because of course curiosity is the foundation of belief, right? If you don't have big questions, or if you don't have as many questions that need to be answered, then you're not going to be as curious, right? And you're not going to ask the big questions yourself, I guess. So we can get started, I guess, with my first point there, which was the possible consequences of overexposure, or just of social media use, of the diminishing of curiosity. So just give me a sec here.
You should probably explain, this is from your book that you're trying to write.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to write a book for about 4 months now. Using
using what?
A creative plant to help me out.
All right,
anyway. So the idea...
explain what the book's
about.
Yeah,
the idea of the book, so it's called New School. It's a series of ideas. It was called Immunity. I kind of invented, or not invented, but I'm trying to bring forth a new...
Why'd you change the name?
I don't know, man. New School sounds cooler.
Okay.
It was called Immunity, though. Immunity is just one chapter now. It's one section. So basically, I'm trying to, bring forth this idea of like psychological immunity. Again, we're like bringing this back to technology. So pretty much the main idea is like through seeing so much like bad, can we swear? Yeah. So through seeing so much bad shit like on the internet, like or on the news, like you flip on CNN, you're gonna see like dead bodies or terrorist attacks, right? Like I'm trying to ask is can this lead to like seeing that so often? Can it lead to that having like a...
I'll give you an example from personally. It's like, I openly will go on like, you know what bestscore.com is?
I'm aware of it.
Yeah, I'll openly go on like r/watch people die on Reddit. Like I'll go on that. And like legit, I can just look and be like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, like that.
I'll literally like see like some guy getting his head cut off, and I'm like, I don't give.
Yeah, like that's another one of my points. It's like compare the first time that you saw something like, fucked up on the internet.
And it's like
it was like
actually, you know what? There's still something that fucks me up when I see Pain Olympics.
Oh.
No, if you don't know what Pain Olympics is.
Don't.
It's where guys mutilate
Bro, don't.
their genitalia. Yeah, don't watch it.
We're cutting that out.
No, why?
Okay, yeah. So what I was saying is a good experiment, a good thought experiment is think about the first time that you saw something crazy on the internet, like something gruesome, and like think about how you felt, right? It was like shit, like
now people
that's
post
messed
that
up,
shit
right? And then
Twitter.
as you keep seeing it, it just kind of becomes like, oh yeah, okay. Like you see a terrorist attack. A terrorist attack kills 90 people in the, in Iraq or something, right? Yeah. Like not like obviously in America, or else it'd be a headliner. But you see headlines like that so often, and it's just like, okay, that's like,
or
it almost,
you won't even see it.
Yeah, it's like,
even like that shit happens all the time.
It has the same psychological effect as like checking the weather now. You know what I mean?
Okay, another terrorist attack. Agree.
Exactly. Yeah. But whereas if it's here, on our turf, and it's both sides are still innocent people. Like there's no difference, right? Everyone's human. But if it's here, then it's obviously a headliner. And I understand that. That's how news works. But that's basically what I mean by psychological immunity,
Yeah.
in essence. And then I have like plenty more shit that I can talk about that if you want to get further into that. So
Yeah, you want to read it? The part you wrote.
yeah, the
How
full
long
thing.
is it?
It's not long at all. It's like 15 pages, but like
No, not the whole book. I mean the part
like
that's
just the part, yeah,
specifically on
immunity.
that.
Yeah, okay.
How
I'm
long
down.
is it?
Not long, like a page and a half, 2 pages.
Okay, yeah, go for that.
I can better capture the essence.
Yeah.
All right, so the quality or state of being immune means to be unaffected or resist a particular disease, especially through preventing
Is that the
development.
definition
Yeah,
of
my bad.
immunity?
Whatever. Everyone knows
Oh.
the definition of immunity. Don't need
Okay.
to do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so the brilliant minds of science and medicine have developed an understanding of immunity in terms of biology and physicality. Through progressiveness and opportunity, the world has become healthier than ever before, with longer lifespans and enough life to contemplate the migration of our species to another planet. This said, as we progress in physical science, we simultaneously become a little bit less human. It is time for exploration into a form of immunity not yet understood, not yet even spoken of, one that is deeply embedded in every living person's mind. For the portions of the world that were at the forefront of the Industrial Revolution, some terrible things arise in exploring the derivatives of individual and societal happiness. So what I mean by this is
Yeah.
like,
Wait, did you actually write that?
yeah.
It's pretty good. It's actually
While
pretty
stoned.
Good. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Okay, anyway.
And
So-
did anyone edit it, or is
No,
was
yo,
that all
this is
you?
just, it's like my third time looking at this.
Yeah.
This is
Fair
not
enough.
this is not close to being ready yet.
Yeah.
So what I mean by the root derivatives of like human happiness for us in the Western world is
Mm-hmm.
like, I get to wear this shirt because someone in China or
Made it.
wherever in
Yeah,
Indonesia
yeah,
or
yeah.
Vietnam made it
Yeah.
for 10 cents like a day, right?
Yeah.
That's why I get to wear this shirt. That makes me happy, you know. I get to pick this up and it makes me happy.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, this most likely is not made anywhere unethical because this is from a local shop in
Yeah.
Bolton. Actually, is a good guy, Luke. Shout out Luke from Amp Nutrition.
But you could check, like other, like these shoes.
Oh,
are-
for sure. Like
yeah.
these Adidas.
Yeah.
Like
My shoes are made in Vietnam.
yeah, they're made wherever
Yeah.
is the cheapest to make it because
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
how.
That's capitalism. That's
Yeah,
the worst,
exactly.
man.
Yo. So anyway, going to that. So some terrible things arise for us to be able to be happy. So.
Yeah. But we don't. We just like blank it out. Or,
That's
like,
what
we
I
just
mean
don't
by
think about it.
immunity,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So like it's
So
like you
we-
kind of become immune to
yeah,
the
yeah.
effects of it.
It's like if you never heard like that your clothes were made by like some kid in a sweatshop, and then one day you did hear
It would crush you,
Yeah,
right?
but since we all know and like everyone just ignores it, then no one
yeah,
cares anymore.
exactly. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean, right? And then so poverty, right? What I mean by this is like we're able to live privileged lives
Mm-hmm.
because people are living below us, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's how the world functions. There's not necessarily anything wrong with that,
Yeah.
except for when it comes to poverty in the sense that other countries are suffering. Like, I don't know, a good example to use is like the U.S. going to war for unethical reasons
Okay.
to
Yeah.
get more money, for example,
Yeah.
right? Per se, allegedly, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Allegedly.
Yeah, the oil meme.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So that further progresses our world is what I mean, right? Because it brings in more money, allows us to have better facilities, stable government, right?
Well, if everyone's rich, then no one is.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Communism. We've tried it. It's failed. It's not good. War again,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Death.
yeah.
So the list continues. Blah blah blah. So then I basically just question why, nearly in complete unison, do we continue to tolerate this evil? Why are we immune? Is the happiness of the luckier ones in this world more important than the relentless suffering of those born into bondage, right? Line from The Matrix there, born into bondage.
Okay.
So, okay, this is where I go a bit nerd with the philosophy, but Plato's Revelations, best understood in the allegory of the cave. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So if anyone listening doesn't know what that is, basically Plato, a famous philosopher, like the best in the world or the best to ever be.
Yeah.
the LeBron James of
One of the
philosophy, right?
best, Yeah.
So he had a series of writings, I think. I don't know if I'm getting this right. I know the story. I don't know a lot about him, so don't scam me. He had a story about prisoners in a cave who only lived in shadows, and the puppet master controlled their reality. So they were only
Yeah.
facing a wall. They were tied up.
The only thing they know is what they see
Exactly,
on
what the
wall,
puppet
yeah.
master lets them
Yeah.
see. And then when one prisoner leaves, he sees the real world, he sees reality, and he comes back and everyone thinks he's crazy, right? So that basically, you can relate that obviously to this world, right? The media would be the puppet master. It's pretty easy, right? They'd control what you think, what you see, and obviously they control your opinions it's noticeably the worst that it's ever been now, I'd
Yeah.
say, right, with the division of like media,
People,
left versus
yeah.
right.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can't
that's
agree
true.
on anything anymore. If I like Donald Trump, which I don't necessarily do, but
Yeah.
if I like Donald Trump and you don't, then it's
It
like
starts a
yeah,
beef,
and there's no there's no middle
no middle
ground,
ground,
right?
yeah.
Like there's no reasonability. So anyway, what I was saying about that is the revelations in this text have never been so prevalent as they are now, like I just said. So
Did you
this-
write this
yeah.
knowing that it was going to be like relevant?
No, yeah, like this was written because it's relevant, right?
Okay,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah, okay.
So one of the wisest men to ever walk the earth got one thing wrong, right? So it is not a lack of knowledge that keeps you in the cave. It is what you know and have come to accept. So that's basically what I mean with immunity, right? We've come to accept these things, even if it's on a subconscious level, and that keeps you in the cave, right? Because you're
but
not,
like you don't like when you accept something, right? You like okay. With this, what you're saying, the subconscious acceptance, it's not like you're like if I accept that my water bottle's crushed, it's like I know, and it's like okay, whatever. But you're by accepting like your shoes are made in Taiwan by some kid, you're not actually like acknowledging it. You accept in your head,
it's
but
just
you just
there.
forget about it.
It's just there, yeah, exactly. And so what you just said, right? What
Yeah.
you know but insist on pushing away, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
even again, if it's subconscious, like you're pushing these things away, but you might not realize it, right? Like what we see doesn't, like it doesn't even come close to like covering the essence of the entire world, right? And so again, the mental acceptances that we allow to live in, our minds build a psychological cave. So this time, not a literal cave,
Yeah.
a psychological cave, deeply embedded in one's mind and too dark to willingly explore. It might seem difficult to explore the things that allow for the maintenance of personal happiness. This is simply because the happiness derived from bitterness becomes diluted when one understands the harshness of the world. So this is the harsh world of creating happiness for the fortunate. We forget that every single person, every living person on this planet is experiencing their own version of consciousness completely unique from oneself. The sheer size of this planet's population should be enough to push towards change, for we are creative and independent beings. This poses a threat to the institutions of the world, to the religions and any other groups that hold a stupid amount of power. That's all it is, right? Stupid power. This widespread idea that a group has the answer to life's biggest questions is an absurdity, right? I'm not saying that I have the answers, obviously. I'm just saying that anyone who claims that they do, it's you simply don't, right? I don't know what happens when you die. It could be complete black nothingness, which is the most likely scenario, or it could be, heaven or hell or whatever your idea is, right? I'm not bashing any ideas. It's just interesting to observe how much power these groups have and
How many people believe in
yeah, exactly, right?
stuff,
Like,
yeah.
and another thing is that atheism is like, it's a weird thing, like if you
Yeah.
say you're atheist, it has like a kind of like a weight to it. It feels negative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a thing that you hide.
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
I'm atheist. Like, oh,
yeah.
why?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, but like, yeah, I know some interesting stuff, like about atheists and like the way they feel and whatever. But like I've learned there's something like I was told once, and it was like it made sense, right? So like if you're an atheist and like whatever interesting stuff they have to say about religion,
Yeah.
and like it's like okay, you don't believe, right, in God,
yeah,
and then you don't know what's going to happen afterwards. But so like the thing I heard is there's nothing like it won't hurt for you to believe. So because either way, so if you don't believe, you're not going to heaven.
yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
but if you do believe and it's like you don't participate, but at least you believe, then you're going to go to heaven like regardless.
Yeah, I get
And
that.
There's no harm in being religious or not. You don't have to be
Oh no,
religious,
there's
you
no
just
harm
believe.
like in just ordinary belief. Like there's no
Yeah.
harm at all. That's why I said I'm not trying to like bash anyone's
Yeah.
beliefs because
like for all you know, you could like reincarnate or something.
yeah, exactly, right.
Sure.
And
you
what
don't even
like
know.
my take on that is it doesn't hurt to believe, but like I think belief in itself
Yeah.
is just a silly thing, right?
like, yeah,
Because
it-
when you die, like according to the laws of nature, it is very unlikely that there's going to be an entity that judges you and watches you and
Yeah,
says
well, it just-
you can go to the
Yeah,
afterlife
it just
or
doesn't
you
make
can go
s-
to
It doesn't make. It's like not
it-
logical.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Or you
like
can go
it's like
to
fictitious.
or
Yeah.
eternal like fire, like right. If there is a heaven, chances are
like, that's the whole
every
point of
living
religion, though.
person goes to heaven. That is to say
Yeah.
that heaven is an afterlife,
Yeah.
just
But like that's the whole
period,
But
right?
that's like the whole point of religion.
Yeah.
Where it's like it's like you'll never know, and you don't like there's no way to prove it, but you just have to believe.
Yeah, in theory, like religion is I don't even know if I'd say a good thing. It's done good things for sure, but it's done some bad things.
But I think like we watched something in class. It was like religion is the only basis you have for morality. Because any other way, there's no.
Oh no, that's true.
Yeah,
that's
there's
true.
There's no way to see that like murder's bad. Okay, why? Because God tells you it's bad, or because why do all humans?
It's an
think murder's
intrinsic
bad?
thing,
or,
right?
Yeah, if it's some like biological thing.
So there are definitely some good things to be taken from biblical, just from holy text in general,
Yeah,
right?
some good
For
lessons.
100%. I'm
Yeah.
not denying that. The Ten Commandments, obviously, like
That's gonna
there's
get
nothing
stuck.
wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
and those principles
those
that's
are
pretty
just
basic
yeah,
principles,
they're just intrinsic values that
Yeah.
all humans have, and it was
And it's
written in
not-
a
yeah,
time where
and,
they
like,
didn't know
even that, because like okay, premarital sex, right? Like that's something that's like, okay, yeah, no one follows that anymore unless you're like devout. But like the Ten Commandments, there is no premarital sex isn't in the Ten Commandments.
It's
The
true.
Ten Commandments.
Moses was a stud.
Yeah, yeah. The Ten Commandments. Moses fucked a bear. The Ten Commandments. Like, there's not like what are you gonna argue with? Like, let me pull the Ten Commandments up, cause like, dude, there's nothing. Like, okay, look at this.
I don't even know how to interpret them to be like. Some of them are pretty obvious,
You just
right?
follow.
Thou shalt not kill.
Cause
but,
look,
like,
look. So,
apparently,
like, okay,
thou
the
shalt not
first-
covet your neighbor's wife or something.
Yeah. Okay. The first few, obviously, those are religious stuff. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'm the Lord. You only worship one God. But like after that, where you get to like, look, thou shalt honor thy father and thy mother, right? Like respect your parents.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna argue with that, right? Thou shalt not kill. Obviously, you're not gonna argue with that either. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Okay, no one wants to freaking get cucked by someone.
Yeah.
Obviously, thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false
false
witness. What
witness.
is that? Like don't lie, right?
Yeah, I
And thou
think
shalt
so.
not covet thy neighbor's wife. All the same shit that those are just basic guidelines for
Yeah.
life. There's like I'm not gonna argue with that. Like there is some religious stuff. It's like, yeah, okay, the premarital sex, yeah, drug use, like.
And
keep
if
your
you-
body
if you
temple.
think
Obviously,
about
I'm
it,
gonna argue with
like,
that, but
If you think about it, morality kind of took a turn for the better when like more established religions started
Yeah.
coming out, I guess, right? Because you take a look at before Christ or before any of like the more modern biblical or like and holy writings for that matter
Yeah.
at all, right? There was like sacrifice was a thing.
Yeah.
Like that was the thing to
They
do.
throw-
Like
yeah.
you kill babies
yeah,
and you eat
as
their
like,
hearts.
as like
Like just as a ceremony,
Yeah,
or
to
like
do-
even
to
as
please the
entertainment.
gods or
Sacrifice
whatever.
was entertainment, right?
Yeah.
I know the Mayans. They had some pretty freaky rituals, for sure.
Yeah, a lot
Good
of
architecture,
like
though.
primal
Any
civilizations,
like
stuff like
ancient
that.
cultures, any
Yeah,
and
it's like-
infanticide,
yeah,
or
the-
how do you pronounce
infanticide, yeah, they
infanticide
kill
was
the kids.
big. It was
Yeah.
it was big. Like it was,
That's why.
So no, I get that point. It's a
Yeah.
good point. That morality, for sure, a lot of it's
Subjective.
credited to
All the religious stuff.
religion. Yeah. Anyway, I'll continue this,
Okay, yeah.
this paragraph.
Yeah.
Where was I? Yes. Okay. So. Oh, here's a good point. This is a trippy point. This is a more abstract one. So, if God created the universe,
Yeah.
then we would assume that He would have created the sun, right?
Yes. yeah. Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah, okay.
If he created the entire
Okay.
universe, he would
So
have had to
then
create the sun as well.
Why would the sun die? Why would suns burn out if their only
know.
they don't have consciousness, right? They don't.
Yeah, but like
their only purpose is to sustain life.
just-
so
yeah, but like they're not. I don't. If God made it to sustain life, yeah. Well, that's what the Bible would say, right?
Yeah.
He put the sun there to give us light and to give us heat.
But that's also
sustain
something dumb to say.
But I
'cause
feel like
God was created in a time where they didn't even know where the sun
yeah,
went.
but like
right? So-
the argument I hear is that the odds of like our sun being or just the correct distance from the Earth so that life can like live.
it's like insane, right? It's like
Yeah.
if it
It's
was
like super
an
insane like
insane fractional
yeah.
number. We're not going to get mathematical
Yeah,
here. But.
so that's why like people. So I'll see that, or like someone that's not like I'm Catholic, but I'm not like devout. So
Yeah,
someone will see that statistic or that fraction as like
And take it as the gap
Yeah, as
argument,
like-
right? The gap argument.
yeah,
like, that's
or
God.
someone will take it as that's God that He did that, or someone will take it as it's just a coincidence and that's
Yeah, right. But
science.
you'd also have
Yeah.
to think about like, I think that's a pretty easy argument to counter, to be honest, because like the universe is infinite, right? That means that this conversation is literally like happening in another
like,
universe, except I'm left-handed instead of right-handed,
and
or our seats
I'm
are switched.
Chinese, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, something
Yeah.
totally like
Just
just
some
random,
random
right?
shit,
The
yeah.
multiverse.
Yeah, infinite.
So if
Yeah,
that's real, then things like that are just bound to happen. Like it's right.
Yeah.
We're like we are like we feel special because we're life and we can think and whatnot. But like if the universe is infinite, which it most probably is, right? Then then who knows what's out there, right? Like one or whatever the
Yeah.
small fractional number is that the sun could be from us. Then
But like, what it always comes back to, and I'm like, whenever someone like poses like, "Are you religious?" or like, "What do you believe?" and I say I'm agnostic because I don't necessarily believe in like going to church and singing and doing all
Yeah.
that, but I do believe
human
in
aspects of
a
it,
higher
yeah.
power. Because, dude, like if you like just pause and think. It's okay, yeah, Big Bang. What happened? What was before that?
yeah, I know
You
it's
literally can't-
crazy.
it's literally not
It's-
possible to explain.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
why
only
I'm saying
way-
like I don't
Yeah.
like
The
I'm
only
not
way
claiming to have the answers. I just
yeah,
like
I know.
debunking. Yeah.
But the only way to explain that would be with like a god or some
yeah.
like higher being that wanted us to be here.
It could also just be random.
Just complete
I mean, right?
coincidence.
Because then you could bring up the
Yeah.
argument
You literally
if
can't draw
anything came
back.
like because everything's a cause and effect relationship. So if
Yeah.
God created the Big Bang, then
I know.
who created
but like,
God?
yeah, exactly. You can never see the
I
beginning.
mean, the most likely scenario, actually,
Yeah.
like according to physics, is that we're living in a simulation.
Yeah, no, but then who
Because-
created the people that are
Yeah,
putting us
right.
in a
Because
simulation?
like it goes like
it doesn't make any
So
sense.
like if the universe again with the infinite, sorry,
Yeah.
but if the universe is infinite, then there is beings out there that are as technologically advanced as ours or more technologically advanced, meaning that they can create a simulation, and then when that simulation
Yeah.
becomes advanced, they can
They-
create a
we
simulation.
create another yeah.
Right.
Did you
So
see that
it-
Rick and Morty
it's
episode?
like a no.
Okay, so what happens? So like Rick is the genius, right? And he has like a universe inside of his car, and then he takes a fraction of the power from that universe to charge his car battery, and then that universe created a universe inside of it that powers their universe.
it's like the
and then, and
multiverse,
then
yeah.
they keep building universes inside like each other's universes.
Yeah. So that's
yeah.
And then when you think
Or
about
like,
that,
yeah.
then you would go, okay, what's more likely? Are we the species or the beings that would create the simulation?
Yeah.
Or
I
are we
feel-
more
I
likely
feel
to be
like
the
if we're
beings that are
if it-
in the
yeah,
simulation?
I feel if we get advanced enough, someone would be like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna create.
Yeah,
a
and it's like,
simulation with a bunch
well,
of
you
other
even
people.
could right now. Like, what if you made GTA characters conscious with like artificial
yeah,
intelligence? Who
yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know what's out there.
Yeah, and they learn. Nah, but
And,
like,
like-
we could, we could like Truman Show someone right now.
Oh, dude,
if we
the
wanted
Truman
to.
Show exists. That's the Keeping Up with the Kardashians, except they're aware of it.
Yeah, but
They-
yeah, but that's not the
It's-
Truman Show. It's
Well,
only
I
the
guess
Truman
so.
Show if you like completely don't tell the person.
That's true.
You
You could.
know what I
You
what I
could.
always wanted to do,
What?
or I always wanted to like tell someone to do, is the Truman Show. So they always have nature over nurture. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
socialization, like your culture, like teaches who you are, or like you're just
Yeah.
born like that. I thought it would be interesting to clone a human, which is already we can do it, but
Oh, yeah, we can, but
It's
it's
already a
too-
thing that they don't want to do.
Exactly,
So
yeah.
we clone a human, and then Truman Show both of them, and raise one in like the shittiest like neighborhood that would like make him like a thing, and then raise one in a nice family and see how they both end up. So then, because then you could finally prove nature over nurture.
Oh.
'Cause it'd have to be a clone. But like we went first, it would be first off like if anyone knew about it, it'd have to be like done illegally, because any like register like science thing or whatever would say
I think
cloning
that's-
humans is
it's
immoral.
just too far.
Cloning humans.
Like it's not even immoral. It's just too far. Like
Clone-
yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. For some purposes, I guess it like could be
I
okay,
think-
right?
It should be done for science.
Yes, 100%. But
Just
like
once.
I don't
just
think the
one time.
public should
It's prob-
see it.
It's probably been done already.
It probably hasn't. Like it's good that we haven't seen it
Yeah,
because like
'cause everyone would freak out.
everyone will go haywire.
Yeah,
but like,
and like, dude, like, does that go against like religion, cloning humans?
I don't know, man.
It's like,
I mean, I would think it does because then you're-
because it's like God, or we're creating the image
Yeah,
of God,
exactly.
and then you're
and then
duplicating that
you're
human again.
doing God's job,
Yeah,
right?
you're, like, making a
that's a
human.
big thing in the
Obviously,
Bible. It's
yeah,
not to do
yeah.
God's job. You're not supposed to
Because
judge
you would
others,
have,
right?
yeah. Well,
Because
you're
would-
making two of the same guy.
Yeah.
When it's like in the Bible, everyone's unique, and then you literally have a clone, which they're not. Well, yeah, they're completely not. Like their DNA is the exact same. Everything's the exact same.
It's scary. Did you hear that they artificially birthed a pig?
No.
They made
In like a petri dish.
in a like they made an artificial.
I heard my brother was telling me something where it's like they almost made like a dinosaur.
Oh,
were
and
like-
they made baby sheep too.
Oh yeah, they cloned the sheep a long time ago.
Yeah, but they made it wasn't even cloned. I don't know how they did it, but they made a artificial womb and they made a pig. They made a pig.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Dude, there was I don't know, I gotta find it, but like my brother was telling me something that like they like got a chicken or whatever, and they were doing all this like mutation to it, and they were trying to like bring or turn it back into like a dinosaur. Because like there's this
Oh yeah,
there's this some theory
they're
that
the
like
most, they
yeah.
are the most linked
Yeah,
animal, right?
that
to
like
dinosaur, aside
yeah,
from like
or they're trying to like
crocodiles
turn
and
into
shit.
like a velociraptor or whatever, and they got so close, and then the entire thing got shut down because like they were getting too close, and you didn't want to Jurassic Park anything. Like,
Yeah.
get everyone dead.
That's scary. I think that it's going to be cool for the food industry when that actually becomes
Yeah, dude. There's already you can
like
already
an
grow.
actual thing.
There's like if you did a petri dish like burger, they already have.
Oh yeah,
that shit.
Frankenburgers. I
Yeah.
learned about that like 6
They can
years
already
ago.
grow
And it was
like
just a,
world's first laboratory grown burger.
you know how much it cost for like
Yeah.
to
Well,
grow
once-
one of those?
yeah, I
It was
know.
like $3 million.
Yeah,
$10 10 years ago, it was like $3
The future of
million.
meat lies in a $325,000 lab-grown burger. Holy
I think that that's
shit.
going to be good for vegans for sure. Because
Yeah,
it's
well,
not it's
you're
not
not killing
unethical,
anyone.
right?
They're
Have
showing-
you ever seen like videos
Yeah,
of like
I seen the
and
videos.
like
If
food
I saw a
farms?
documentary, it was like if
Food Inc.
If no, I saw
on
Food Inc.
Netflix?
too,
Dude,
but
that
it was like if slaughterhouses had glass walls, we'd all be vegan.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I was like, yeah.
Well, there's like 300,000 chickens inside one coop. Like what?
Yeah.
Like that's
And they're all like rubbing against each other.
yeah. And then
and their like legs are broken because
yeah,
they're like
and then
fattened up.
and then they throw them
yeah.
like they don't
I mean,
even
I'd
like
still,
clean
I'm
them
gonna
up.
still muck a steak,
Oh, for sure. Like
but like
you
no,
know,
if
I
it's
need
like- yeah.
I need meat. Like
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
But like it's less. It's like
Immunity,
you don't have to
bro.
think about it. Yeah.
psychological
Yeah, it is
immunity, bro.
Because we're like, oh, who gives a shit?
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, at least that's what we.
And then I want to like raise the question like, what is that consciousness for
What?
that animal? Like, does that animal have consciousness? Is it conscious?
like religious people will say that animals don't have like souls, and then vegans will say animals do have souls and they have feelings.
I think
and
that
by
there's
you
a middle
killing-
ground.
I feel they don't have. I don't think they do.
I don't know. I think there's a
I-
middle ground. Like some
yeah,
animals,
honestly,
okay. Some
yeah.
there's
Yeah,
a fine
okay.
balance, right?
Okay,
a fish,
yeah, yeah.
I have no problem killing a
Okay,
fish.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's some.
They're
vegans
dumb.
that eat pescatarians.
They're dumb,
Yeah,
right?
so- all right.
A chicken, yeah. Still, I'd eat a chicken, yes.
Yeah.
But like a dolphin, dolphins are
Yeah,
smart.
dolphins are smart as fuck.
They're smart.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
have you ever
that's
seen the experiment where they put a mirror in front of it
That's
and
true.
it can recognize
Yeah,
that it
okay.
is like a
Fair
self?
enough. Yeah. So like yeah, like same with like an ape.
Yeah,
Like an
right.
ape. Like
chimps are going through the Stone Age right now, in case
Yeah.
you missed
Oh
that.
yeah, I saw that. I saw.
So Planet of the
saw.
Apes is a real
yeah,
conspiracy.
I saw. But yeah, no, yeah, that makes. But like a cow, bro, a cow doesn't know shit what's going on.
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't know though. Even
Bro, I've
then,
seen, like-
is it like,
Dude, like,
but like, is it existing? Like it has a brain.
yeah. It's
So
obviously
something's
it's,
going on inside.
But
of
I
it.
feel like if before we were like if yeah okay those chimps were using like stone tools like but before they were like using stone tools they were still like just
But like at
the
one point we
dumbass
were right.
chimps.
Actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Well, apparently,
yeah.
if they get their hold on magic mushrooms, then they're gonna do the same thing that we did, according to
Like
Terrence
learn.
McKenna, the stoned ape theory. You ever hear
No.
about that? Terrence McKenna.
the stone ape theory. Okay,
It's
go.
awesome.
Yeah, what is it?
So this guy named Terrence McKenna had a theory that so you know how there was like rapid growth
Yeah.
from the primate brain to where we
Just
are now in
complete-
like
yeah,
100,000,
Homo sapien-
250,000
Homo
years or
sapien
something like
sapien.
that.
Yeah,
So
very
the
quick.
brain like grew like 4 times.
Yeah.
I'm probably getting
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
getting the
yeah,
numbers
that's
wrong
fine.
for sure. Whatever,
That's fine.
something big. He thinks that it was credited to like them eating
Drugs.
mushrooms, like eating magic
Yeah,
mushrooms,
and, like,
and
they're-
then just like seeing things that are like beyond
Yeah,
their like
and then
realm
they
of
started, like,
understanding, and then just like
evolving more.
like what,
Yeah, yeah.
you know? Because apparently when you take psychedelics, you see like entities and they talk to you, and it doesn't feel like you're making it,
Yeah.
right? It doesn't feel like you're making it.
Yeah.
So like, what would they see, right? If they don't understand language, that's
Yeah, yeah.
really weird. Language is a trippy thing too. Like I don't know how
Yeah, no, yeah.
language is very scary.
Yeah, language. Yeah. Did you watch Arrival or whatever it was called with the aliens?
Arrival. No, not the new one. Have you ever seen Contact?
No. Wait, of the first being or whatever the fuck it's called.
Contact, like the one with the aliens contact Earth, and they send them a transmission of
No.
Adolf Hitler.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because it was like the
He knew
first.
that was gonna happen. They knew it was gonna happen.
No, it was the first transmission that was broadcasted through satellite, like in
Okay.
space.
Yeah.
So they got it, or
And then what
I
happened?
don't know. Oh, it's really okay. The
Yeah.
scene is super cool. It's like noises come in. It's like ding,
Yeah. But
whatever.
no, yeah,
And then they
with
go,
the-
oh, it's a frequency.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is
Oh,
it?
so
Like,
they
is it
know.
audio? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and then
Yeah,
it's
that's
video,
right.
and then it's Hitler's
You
doing
have
his
to figure-
speech,
yeah.
and it's
No,
and
yeah. With
super cool.
With Arrival, it's like all about language.
Yeah,
So,
the
like,
girl
they-
has to communicate with them. Yeah.
No, never mind. They have so like they have to figure out. They're trying to figure out what the alien is saying, right?
Yeah.
Or, like and the alien's trying to figure out what they're saying. So they go into the ship, and she's like a linguist or whatever. Some
Mhm.
shit. She wrote a book. They go into the ship, and then like she would, I don't know what she would do. She would like she would say her name, and then the alien would throw up like the symbol for what that name would be. So say
Oh.
I went like, and then or no, that's not. Say I went like you as like if I went you would say okay, that's you are right.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the same thing where they said the name and then they threw the symbol
Oh, they can
up.
understand like the
Yeah.
the
And then,
like
same
the
with-
sound of it.
Like she would walk, and then or the alien would recognize the action and then throw the word up for that action, and then by knowing all that shit, they would take that. They took those symbols and then they figured out what the entire language was.
Yeah, it sounds sick.
Yeah.
That's another weird
Like
thing
that's
is
how
alien
like
language.
imagine how would they like if we were a bunch of cavemen, like we would have to be like and
Yeah.
then that's what that is, and then we like point at shit and figure what that is.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if before language it was just grunts identified
Yeah,
certain things.
That's what it have to be, or that's how it would start.
Well,
They would switch
monkeys
them out.
monkeys send different. Or sorry, monkeys not even an
Oh,
animal.
no, you know what? What?
Chimpanzees
Chimps, yeah,
send
apes.
different. They send a certain sound
Yeah. Dolphins
for
have names.
eagles,
Yeah.
and they send a different sound for a lion.
But is it all chimpanzees that do it, or is it
Yeah.
in specific regions?
Well,
where
wherever I
chimpanzees-
guess they would have land and air predators,
Okay,
but
some sort of,
they've
yeah,
evolved to
some
the point
specific region that
where
they've evolved.
they will mess with each other.
Yeah.
There's videos of them messing with each other,
They tell
going,
oh,
"Ooh, ooh,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
ooh, ooh,"
Okay.
and then they look in the air,
Yeah.
and there's nothing there.
No, dolphins have names. Like I was reading something. It was like a dolphin or each dolphin has a specific frequency.
Yeah,
that's
and
its name.
orcas have a language too that we just
Yeah.
obviously don't understand, but like it's just as
Crazy.
complex as
Yeah.
ours. That's intense.
Yeah, except they don't have legs, so they can't do shit.
That's why marine
Yeah,
lands.
and
like,
we
for
we
sure
yeah
messed
we
up.
if we weren't here, like some other animal would take our place.
100%.
It would probably,
Eventually, it would
yeah,
take.
It'd probably be the
however
apes at this
million
point.
years,
If there's no
yeah.
apes, yeah, the dolphins grow legs eventually.
Imagine how
and
big
fuck-
they'd be, a fully evolved ape human.
they'd be fucking-
Everyone would look like. You ever
Yeah.
seen Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
The mountain. Everyone would
Yeah,
look like the
they'd be
mountain,
fucking-
and that'd be normal.
All right, continue reading your book.
You just got into ape evolution.
Yeah, I don't know where you were.
That's good stuff, yo.
Yeah.
Okay, where am I? All right. All right, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This is like, I don't even know what I was thinking here, but
Let's hear it.
tell me if this makes sense.
Yeah.
So if the world looked itself in the mirror 1,000 years ago, and then looked again now, which being only 1,000 years is merely
So, 10,
like
18.
tiny thing, right, for the world, and like a thing that's been around for 4 billion years, right? So if it looked at itself in the mirror, hypothetically, obviously, and then looked back 1,000 years later, what would the world think of itself? Like, would it be proud of what people have done, or would it be like, oh shit, what did I do?
I think it'd be proud.
You think so?
Yeah. Because, I feel like back then they'd be like, in 1,000 years, they'd be like, we'd all be dead. Because, like,
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
like, even like 100 years ago, there was people like saying
like 40 years ago.
they're saying, oh yeah, in 20 years, there'll be 7 billion people and everyone will be starving. But like, technology and science, like
It just
like,
can't
fuck
be
those-
sustainable though. This many people,
Yeah.
like,
but like as
just
like
too many.
as more people like are here, there's more minds and there's more like ideas that can
Yeah, that's-
create
that's
ways.
true, that's
'Cause,
true.
we can just we're gonna have to like dig into the ground, start living in the ground and shit. And
Yeah.
live above the ground and in the fucking sky and in space when we colonize Mars.
eventually though, like, there's gonna be another cataclysm, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that's what
Some
it's not
sort
gonna be
of- some
nuclear war
asteroid
that
or
take. Yeah,
something.
there's not gonna be like nuclear war that takes us out. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's just not gonna happen.
Asteroid.
I think it'll be an asteroid.
But
most
like
likely.
I feel they haven't specifically said, or like it would probably be the U.S. that would have it, but like they wouldn't tell us, but like I feel they have some sort of thing, some plan, like something they could shoot at an asteroid and like knock it out of the sky.
Yeah, I think
Because like
so.
I feel like, dude, like that's like the easiest thing to like plan for. It's like it's gonna be like in
but like
a-
it's also moving like 200,000
yeah. But,
kilometers
dude,
per
we
hour.
can see it though that it's coming.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like in a million.
No, but
The Russian
sometimes though, like they'll
Think
literally
about it.
warn you like 15 days before one comes close. It's like, yeah, there's an asteroid
Yeah.
that's like gonna
Like that- yeah,
come pretty close to
yeah.
Earth.
But like,
by the way.
yeah, if they're super small. But if it's like
Planet X.
if it's if it's what are they called?
Comet?
Catastrophic? No.
Tilted Towers, comet.
Extinction world or extinction level event. Ella, right? No.
ELA? ELA? No, I had no idea.
Let me search it up. Extinction level event. Yeah. So if it's an extinction ELE.
Yeah, okay.
If it's an extinction level event, like they definitely have something to shoot it, or they would like they
I'd
have to go
think-
full Armageddon or full fucking Deep Impact.
Oh,
and create-
Armageddon's a sick
yeah,
movie.
and create something or figure some shit out to get up there and like or like shoot it from down here and get rid of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Cause like dude, imagine going out like that, like the dinos went out like pussies, like an asteroid.
Yeah. I
Like, we
wonder
wouldn't go out
what.
like that.
I had a movie idea once to just make a movie about where the asteroid never hit, but humans did evolve. So
Oh,
like
so
we're
like the
just as advanced as
dinosaurs.
we are right now.
Well, there's dinosaurs.
But there's
yeah.
dinos.
You know what that is?
What?
Fucking Flintstones.
Is it actually?
That's literally what the Flintstones is. The dinosaurs are still there, but the humans are like they're not evolved like now. They don't have computers. but
Yeah,
they're still Homo sapien, like sapien,
Yeah,
talking and
okay.
shit.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
I think.
that would be sick.
I think that we'd get murked though, for sure.
Yeah,
no way that we
would.
could beat dinos.
Fighting dinos,
They're
yeah.
just too big.
Yeah,
like
well,
crocodiles are
Jurassic
like
Park.
crocodiles are basically dinosaurs, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
things are
And
scary,
they'd be, like,
and that's
10
not even like
they're,
the
like, 100
scariest.
times bigger.
Yeah, that's not even the scariest
Yeah.
thing, man. Anyway, yeah. So that's it for psychological immunity, as we just went through a
Mm-hmm.
big rabbit hole or a deep rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
What else did I say we were going to talk about? So I said psychological immunity. Oh, right. The consequences of diminishing curiosity.
Yeah, for religion.
Yeah. And for just anything really, right?
Yeah.
So like what I mean by that is, again, with the Discover page example, like take me back like 150 years or something. Say I was a teenager 150 years ago. I'd probably have a lot more spark in a sense, right? Like I'd want to explore. Like I'd want to go into the forest. I'd want to hunt and like,
yeah.
you know.
You want to give me that other
Yeah,
water?
yeah. And like, what's that?
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Like people were a lot more active back then, not necessarily
Yeah.
like in a
Well,
psychological level.
They were like non-nomad or what? Nomadic or non? They weren't.
Neurotic?
No, sorry, wait.
I don't even know what that word means. I'm dumb.
They were nomadic. Sorry. So they, but we didn't settle. So we like it's like we had when we were nomadic and we were on like every day we had to hunt, and before we knew how to like train animals to shag.
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
like we had to like
Shag.
yeah, we had to hunt them and follow them, and then we had no time to like to create or do anything.
Yeah.
But then once like for Mesopotamia or whatever, once we finally settled down, then we were able to build all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So like once there's like that like final thing. where
Ancient
everyone-
architecture is insane.
Yeah. it
Have you ever
is.
seen a what's it called? Damn.
I saw that. Fuck. We were learning in history. It
A
was
series, Magical Egypt.
Like, yeah. What about it?
It's sick.
What? Like
It's
Egyptian
like it just talks
architecture?
about
Yeah.
John Anthony West. It's his
Yeah.
series. It's like there is a school of thought
Yeah.
in Egypt, and like every single major philosopher and like
Had the
anyone
same
who's
idea.
ever been something like in history
Yeah.
up until like whatever Jesus, I guess, or whatever, belonged to the school of thought. So like they learned the knowledge of the Egyptians. Here, let me look it up. I'll get some names so I actually have
No, like
more solid proof. But
a good meme, Mesopotamian meme. There was like some like leader that built this temple for like one of his girlfriends, but then like he told his other girlfriend it was for her too, so he got
Savage.
shit. Yeah, which was good. And yo, I just thought of this thinking about that. Yo, and so when we were in Iceland for the trip,
oh yeah, how was that?
It was lit.
Yeah, it's
It was
sick.
good. But yeah, no, we were like learning about the Northern Lights. We didn't get to see them because there's too many clouds.
I've seen them here before. Once.
like up north.
Once. No, like
Oh, okay.
here, like in Bolton.
Yeah, it must have been
Very,
like
very,
it must have been
very
like a
di-
solar
like
storm. Yeah.
very dim, very
But
dim.
yeah, no,
but like
so-
it was,
So like we were learning about them, and like in Russia, so every culture had their own like explanation of the Northern Lights because it's freaking lights in the sky. They're gonna explain it somehow.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for-
So the Russians in this one village, like all the warriors would leave to go to war, and then one guy would stay back to like watch the wives.
Oh.
And then like the explanation
To
when
keep
all
it
the
going.
warriors came back, they'd say, "Yo, you see that light in the sky? All your wives are pregnant because of that light." And that was his explanation.
savage.
But yeah, he just fucked them all.
Savage.
So, but yeah, I thought that was funny.
Anyway, I was saying, I can't find it, but like, if I remember correctly, it's like Da Vinci for sure. I know that he subscribed to it, 100%.
This Egyptian thing.
Yeah, Da Vinci.
Yeah.
Try looking it up. Try looking at like Da Vinci Egypt.
I'd like to see.
But it blew my mind because like, it was just.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah, this might be it. Maybe. No, I don't know. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I don't think so though.
Sound if it was in a TV show, I don't know.
Yeah. No, cool series though. But apparently,
It's on Netflix.
anyway. No, it's
Yeah.
internet
Yo, you know what's a
internet
cool
stream
history
thing.
or series on Netflix? Fuck, what? Nazi Secret Files.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
that
Is
shit's
it the
hard.
conspiracy one?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's like it's based on like conspiracies, but there's like stuff they found that like
Mm-hmm.
shows that like this is what they were doing. So it's like the files they found after World War II that like was all the plans for like these like super weapons. So like the first
Oh,
episode is
yeah.
like, I think it was like the sun ray, where like they were gonna put this shit in the solar system that like harness the power of the sun to like make this big ass. Yeah, and there was like there was so many like.
Well, they
like,
were way ahead of like
Yeah, yeah.
us in terms
It's
of,
just because
of
we all
engineering,
band
right?
together and like.
Yeah, like
fuck around.
imagine if the Nazis had the power
Yeah.
that we
Yeah.
like
And, like,
that
dude, there was, like,
Western
some
countries had.
There was some like manuscript that like was like taken from like a battlefield of all the soldiers talking. It was like right before like the ceasefire was called. Some like guy saw over the horizon like all this fucking like technology, and then like it ended and that was it. And they surrendered and then they didn't get to use.
Did you ever
it.
see the Gustav cannon?
Oh, is that giant tank?
No,
Oh
no,
my g-
the cannon. It's a COD map
Okay.
too.
Okay.
You played COD World
Yeah.
2? You know the like
I
the
didn't play camp. Oh, I only played campaign.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no.
campaign,
there
though.
was another one. It was called the Bell. You can search up. Type in Nazi Bell. It's like it's like this metal thing that has like these chemicals in it that when they spin around fast enough, they just disintegrate anyone that's in the area.
Oh
so
my
it goes,
God.
and then the entire battle. If they put it on the battlefield, the entire battlefield would just disintegrate.
Dude, that is insane.
Yeah.
That's actually insane.
And it was like I don't know the science behind it. It was some like magnet shit. Like all these metals when they go really fast together, it like makes
Yeah,
this
they
like
had some-
super like fucking
Well, like every like
yeah
most of the better engineering
yeah
like comes from Germany.
yeah. What was that rocket? They that was like the basis for like all the fucking missiles we have. It was like some Nazi rocket.
No, I have no idea. I know that
First rocket.
their
Let's see.
guns were way better than
The V2
what the
rocket,
Americans
yeah,
have.
that's what it
Apparently,
is.
the Americans used to pick up their guns in
Oh,
battle.
and use them. That's
Yeah,
sick.
because they were
That's
so
sick.
much better.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's
imagine going to like being an American soldier on D-Day and like never having experienced a fully automatic
Yeah,
like
yeah.
light machine gun like like the MG42. Imagine
Yeah.
like experiencing that for the
Just getting
first time ever, and like you don't even know what to do. Like it's just 100 rounds per second. Like
Yeah.
what are you gonna do about
You just
that? And then
hit the
you have
fucking
like
guy and
your
get mopped.
semi-automatic rifle
Yeah.
that's like barely
They're cheap to
doing.
make.
Yeah, exactly.
You
It's
just
not
fucking
gonna
give
do
'em
anything, and like
everyone. Yeah.
apparently they jammed a lot. And
Yeah, yeah.
German engineering was
Good
just
shit.
like way more
Yeah.
superior.
But that just shows how much we risk to get that shit back.
It's scary.
Yeah.
I had something to say. Oh yeah, back to the Gustav cannon.
Gustav cannon.
Here, look it up. Look up a picture of it, and then so they had to.
Let's see.
It took 100 men to move
Yeah,
it.
this is like the giant tank.
Yeah, man. And you had to be like a mile away.
Did they use it though?
Yeah.
That thing's fucking huge.
You had to be a mile away,
there's a
or else
picture
it
of Hitler
would
looking
literally blow up your ears. Like it would,
Who shot it?
it would
then?
break you. I have no idea what these guys were on. I
Oh,
don't know.
Dude, like there was some like in Nazi secret files, like they talk about like fucking super serum, all this shit, like some way to like enhance.
They were on meth, eh? Did you know that?
Oh, like speed.
They were on amphetamines.
Yeah. But, like yeah, like and like yo, there was all these fucked up tests on like Jews to like figure out how much the human body could sustain.
Yeah, it's
It's
insane.
fucked.
I think that they would be probably the scariest army to face ever. Like, never mind a nuclear war. Imagine trying to face like methed up people
Yeah.
with insane like machine guns that.
And like yo, like there and like the sheer will of the Nazis, like that they literally think they're like super soldiers.
It's no,
Like,
it's
how the hell-
crazy.
how are you
It's-
gonna fight? Like how are you gonna if you believe something enough and like you're like you're just hopped up on the idea, like you're gonna fucking.
It's
just
scary.
mock.
No, it's
Yeah.
scary. I can't even like believe like or begin to like
Yeah.
picture what combat would be
It
like.
is, yo, Hitler drugged his soldiers. The Nazi preached abstinence in the name of promoting national health, but when it came to fighting their Blitzkrieg, they had no qualms about pumping their soldiers full of drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
Speed was the drug of choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, look at that.
So they would be like
Fuck.
super focused then,
But yeah,
right?
yo, shout out to the Nazis for creating the sex doll for their soldiers.
Did they actually?
Yeah, so like, I don't know if it was Hitler specifically, but the Nazis create like because they're all the men were on the battlefield, so they created the sex dolls for their soldiers to fuck.
Damn.
Yeah, and like yeah.
Well, that's
okay.
smart. Like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
from a, like
That's
from
why.
a tactical perspective, that's actually
just,
smart.
Yeah, because you keep them like occupied.
Yeah,
that's why.
exactly. They don't have wandering minds
That's
and
why,
whatnot.
yeah.
But speed, maybe it wouldn't be meth then. I guess it would be like
Speed.
Adderall,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing. So
Still
like you'd be facing
amphetamine, yeah.
super focused,
Yeah,
super like confident,
yeah, and it's like a fucking billion
and
people at once.
you wouldn't sleep.
Blitzkrieg would mock.
Like you don't sleep
They
on
just-
Adderall.
yeah,
like they'd
they
be
just
up
run in,
for
fuck up, fuck them up,
hours
yeah.
with insane guns. Like that is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
That's why.
And then the Japanese are, I'd say, just as scary because they just didn't fear death.
They literally didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
didn't.
Like I was talking about the Nazis. If you're determined, if you're determined as all hell, you can just fuck up anyone.
Yeah, how do
If
you,
yeah,
how do you defeat an enemy that doesn't fear death,
They
right?
literally don't care.
Yeah, and it's not even that they don't care. It's just like it's like
They care
it's,
so much.
It's honor. I mean, like they care about honor, right?
They care so much that dying is like good. Like they wouldn't even mind
If
dying.
it's for the right
and
cause.
like if someone,
exactly.
if someone's like about to kill him, they didn't kill him, they just kill themselves.
You ever seen the Pacific, Steven Spielberg's series?
No.
The one scene, this Japanese soldier pretends to be wounded so that the Americans would
Yeah.
like take him as prisoner, and he's
Yeah.
like limping and whatever.
Yeah.
And then as they come to grab him, he pulls the pin on the grenade and like just
Oh,
grabs the
fuck.
guy. I wonder if that was like an actual
Yeah,
thing, because
that's
if it was,
hardcore.
that's terrifying,
Yeah,
and
that's fucking hard.
no one deserved that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they had the kamikaze like bombers and shit.
That's terrifying too.
That would
Yeah.
just fucking fly their shit into.
Into like
into
yeah,
ships.
that was Pearl Harbor, right?
Well, not just Pearl Harbor, but
Yeah, well,
But yeah.
any battle, right?
yeah. Well, they on the sea. Yeah, they don't give a shit, or they give too much shits.
Would you rather have fought in Europe or in the Pacific? Not that like
Probably
this,
in Europe.
like
Probably in Europe.
yeah.
Cause dude, like if you hear like there's like Japanese like spike traps and shit. Like fuck that.
Have you seen Hacksaw Ridge?
Yeah.
The tunnels?
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like, what?
Those little like crevices. They're fucking.
That's terrifying. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like German soldiers were like probably just like
Yeah.
they were normal people,
Yeah.
right? They were just on speed,
Yeah, they're just hardcore.
getting pumped with like
Yeah.
a lot of
That's
propaganda,
why.
and they had like
Yeah.
I
The
don't know.
like dude, like yeah, at least Germans are like more like Americans, where they were probably scared of death.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Japanese are taught to like you like if all else fails, you're dying.
And if
they're like,
you
okay.
fail, then you have to.
you have to kill yourself.
What's it called when you?
Sudoku.
Yeah,
Sudoku,
when
yeah.
you.
You should.
That's
Yeah, that's
insane.
Hacksaw Ridge. They do the same thing, where he stabs himself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we can get back to
Yeah.
the book. I have a second chapter here that I can go over briefly. So this is just called Lost Potential. This is just like a basic idea. So I'm basically kind of trying to figure out why certain parts of the world resist progress. Why do we allow for certain belief systems to halt the progress of our species or the progression of our species? So much opportunity and potential lost in the clutches of the powerful. So a little bit abstract, but anyway. So basically what I talk about in this, don't even have to read the whole thing. It's just like one sentence. It's like we've become so like connected with like social media and with the internet, and like everything's so easy to get. Like we barely even like take in the fact that like everyone's just a person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
you just see them behind like a
Behind a lens.
yeah, like Wizard of Oz.
It's
kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think that like that just must have like consequences in the long run, right? Like I don't know, I'm not a psychologist or a neuroscientist, but like
Yeah. No, I think.
I'm
yeah.
curious.
Yeah, it probably would. If you, it's like those people that like date like online like their
Isn't it
entire
like
like
DSs?
for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, what do you mean?
Oh,
No, people that date like if you have like a long distance relationship for like 10 years with like some girl, and then you finally meet her and like she's completely different.
yeah.
Like that's obviously gonna have an effect on you.
Mm-hmm.
Or if it was like a man. the
I
entire
think
time.
like just like society is gonna like just change so much. I have a good
Yeah.
question that I like.
We'll probably stop talking to each other physically. And just
Yeah.
stay in, like,
No,
our
that's
houses.
yeah. So my question is, would you rather have no technology but have your body, or would you rather have no body but technology? So
Yeah.
you would
I'd
think that you
Yeah.
like
I'd
y-
upload myself into like a
Mhm.
yeah my.
So I think that that's
consciousness.
eventually gonna happen,
Yeah.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
that's the Matrix, literally.
Yeah, that is. Yeah.
Except it'd be like voluntary, right?
Yeah.
And then I think that
That'd be
like
sick.
I don't know, technology will just like maintain
Like
the
VI,
world.
like
Who knows,
extreme
man?
VI,
Yeah.
where, like you're putting your brain into it.
I don't know. It's a hard question for me to answer because I don't know if I want to give up like being
Being human.
human, but like
I don't know. I feel like
If you can make
I
it
was
feel real
actually-
enough,
I feel like
then what's the
I was
difference,
actually
right?
faced with the actually, yeah. If it feels real enough,
if it
then you
feels
won't
real,
know.
like everything's like
Yeah,
your
that's
life is like through your brain, right?
If it's like VR is good enough and you get to that point where you can in the game you can feel, then like it's this. You're gonna.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's gonna be like that thing where it's like you're gonna like in Inception, where
Oh,
like,
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
know if
yeah.
they're in the dream or not, and they need a token.
I think it's gonna get really funky in like 20, 30
Yeah.
years.
You won't know.
maybe
you
even
won't know
less.
if you're in, you like it'll be so good you won't even know if you're in VR or not.
Yeah, I think it's gonna
Or
get that good.
there would be some sort of AI that's so like good or like so.
But
well
it'd have to be like everyone would have to be in there with me.
Yeah.
Like if I were to ever like
'Cause you don't
contemplate
wanna
that,
be-
because
yeah,
I
that's the-
then you're just kind of
But,
living
you
like
could live in a fake,
in your
like,
head.
completely fake world.
I
where
know.
everyone you know is just like.
no. I think
not
that
real.
the only way I think I would do it is if it was
Or
if
I wouldn't do
everyone
it if it
was
was
in the
permanent.
cloud.
I don't think I'd do it if it was permanent.
No, I wouldn't either. I don't
Only
think.
if it was like a little like a VR thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would make things sick. Just VR.
Oh, VR is insane.
Yeah,
I've never
VR.
tried like an expensive headset.
Which one do you use?
Just the Samsung Gear. It's
Oh.
trash.
Yo, you should come over. I have PSVR.
Yeah, is it nasty?
It's sick.
Have you tried the HTC Vive, the one that Bosch has?
No, I know it's much better though.
I listened to Duncan Trussell.
No.
It's a guy that's always on the Joe Rogan Experience. He's like a huge VR proponent. He said he tried the Vive and like he called the Joe and he's like, "This is bigger than the internet.
Yeah,
this is
no.
bigger than the wheel.
It's
This is crazy, man."
it's sick. Like I remember the first time like I played VR, I was like, "Fuck, this is so sick."
It's the future for sure.
and like just like holding the controller and it's like the gun, and like yo, like I remember. So like I was doing research after this happened. So the first week I got my VR, like I played so much. Like I would legit. So I had like Job Simulator, I had Skyrim,
you just got like sucked into
and
the
like
to
no,
the
so like I was
vortex.
playing, and then I went to this was before. So I got it for my birthday, which is the 19th of December.
Yeah. Okay.
And then so like that week led up to Christmas, right? So I played for all that time I had off because it was Christmas break, and then it was the 24th, right? So I went to my grandma's. I'm like, okay, going to church, bro. Like, dude, I was fucked. Like, and
It messes with your perception.
I'm not like that anymore. When
It messes
I play.
with
But,
your
like,
perception.
This is what happened, right? So like I'm walking, and I'm like I felt like my body like go like because in VR like you move and like your eyes will go forward and your body
Yeah,
will go
yeah.
forward. And then I was walking and I felt like that locomotion where I'm like like where I felt like my
Oh
body
yeah,
fall
it's like when you come
forward.
off a treadmill
Yeah.
almost, right? And then
And
it's
also,
like,
I
oh,
would,
the ground's not
I
moving
would go to-
anymore.
I was sitting at my grandma just chilling. I would go to grab my drink and then like in VR like your hand
You can't.
Yes, well you can, but like I it was weird. I was like I like went.
It just messed with your
forward, and I was like,
perception.
fuck.
I think that's the perfect example,
it
like
was
a treadmill,
fun.
right? Because when you
Yeah.
get off the treadmill,
Or like a
it's like,
trampoline
okay,
too.
the ground's not
Like,
moving
it was
anymore.
fun.
But for that, it'd
It
be
was
like,
like- and
okay,
I searched it
everything's
up.
not
Yeah.
awesome anymore.
Yeah, it was called like post VR like
Syndrome?
hangover or some shit. And
It's
I was
like-
like, yeah,
it's
I
like
have that right
NCT,
now.
yo. It's 'cause
And I
your-
felt so
your
weird.
brain was
And,
probably
dude,
like-
I wanted to do experiments. So when I first got Skyrim VR, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna put the headset on. I'm gonna set my chair. I'm gonna fall asleep, and then I'm gonna wake up in VR. So like I do.
Oh, that's
You know
crazy.
one of those light. Oh shit.
That's
You
crazy.
know one of those light naps where you go like this and then you.
Yeah.
So I'm like sitting there. I do it. I'm like, holy shit. And like I was like looking around. I'm like, okay.
Probably felt like you were dreaming, no?
Yeah, it was fun. But like in like 3 seconds, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why.
it's like your brain just craves that for sure,
Yeah.
right? It's so cool.
Yeah, it's better.
So you
than-
think that your
it's better
phone's
than the
good.
real world.
Try being in real, like
Yeah.
in VR.
And like VR adult entertainment.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good.
I haven't tried it. I
Yeah,
haven't
no,
tried it,
yo,
but
you
I've
can come over
tried
sometime,
like
we'll do it.
helicopters and shit.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's good stuff.
Yeah, I think it's cool because you just put on a headset and then you're on the streets of Dubai. It's oh shit, this
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
real, and it feels real. Like that's
Yeah.
for anyone who hasn't tried it. Like it does. It's not like you think
It
it
doesn't
is.
look real, but it feels.
It's
real.
yeah, because like if before I tried it, I was like, all right, this is gonna be cool. It's gonna be like a
Yeah.
super screen, but it's not. It's like it feels like you're
Yeah.
actually there.
Yeah.
So when I don't know if you've ever tried. You ever tried the Assassin's Creed one, the sample video where like. You're just kind of floating through
Oh,
rooms
okay.
and you see fights happening. It's
Oh,
like you
okay,
turn
that's
to your
pretty
right and
cool.
there's two
Yeah.
figures fighting,
No,
and it's
yeah.
like, oh, like this, holy shit, this feels
So-
real.
Like I remember. So the first time now this was like the moment that I'm like VR is like so cool, and it was so Rec Room. It's like an online VR game, and like I spawned it. I'm like, okay, let's see this, and like legit in the first 5 minutes, I'm already talking to someone. in
Yeah.
VR. I'm like, holy.
Oh,
shit.
like it's like a
Yeah.
community based.
Yeah, and I'm like giving him a high five. I'm like, this is, it was like fuck. And then I remember I invited my friend over and he did it and he had the same reaction because just knowing that they're in VR too and like you're in a world together that's not real. And he
Yeah,
could
it's
be in-
another
he
dimension,
could be in,
really,
like
right?
China on the other side of the world and we could just be talking to each other.
that is.
why.
That's,
And then
that's
another
why it's
game-
I think it's
thing.
the future.
I played Star Trek VR, which is like it's so like so it's a 5-person lobby. It's like the captain, the weapons guy, the shield.
Oh, they have
guy,
like
and, the
legit
thing.
games. I've never played
Yeah.
games before.
Yeah,
I've just
no,
watched
yeah,
videos. I know that there's
you can
games.
come
I
over
always
and we
thought
can
that they would
play,
be
yeah.
like single
but
player
like
though.
the first game I played, like I was the captain, and like legit, dude, I got matched up with the biggest fucking like Star Trek nerds, and they made it so good. They were like sweating so hard, they're like, Captain, like he would turn around, he's like, I'm
Dude,
like,
that's
I'm
Black
sitting there,
Mirror.
I'm like, he's like, Captain, what do you want us to do? I'm like, this is my first match. I'm like, what do you think? He's like, I put the shields up to 30% and whatever. I'm like, all right, do that. And then they do their shit. I'm like, holy shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Do you watch Black Mirror?
I haven't seen it all. What episode?
The Voyager. I'm getting the title wrong for
No,
sure.
I haven't
But
seen
it's like this guy invents a technology where you strap this thing like behind your ear and
Yeah.
it integrates your consciousness with
Yeah.
like a totally immersive VR, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
so
like
it
you
puts your
feel your
brain in.
body,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
we like how we feel right now would be the same in the game, and he like just creates a fake Star Trek world in his mind,
Yeah.
except everyone who he spawns into the game, he has to take their DNA
Okay.
and put it into the like whatever the game,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
software, and when they're spawned in, they're a copy of themselves in real life, so they're conscious too. So like if we were to be spawned in, we would feel like this is me.
So, yeah.
I'm in this game now. Like
But you'd still,
shit.
it'd still feel real.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then like the other
Yeah.
characters have to explain to them like, no, like this is
Yeah.
like this is twisted, like
Yeah, yeah.
this isn't
But yeah,
this isn't you,
yeah.
and then they have no genitals,
Yeah.
and it's really freaky,
Okay.
but like
But yeah, no, like I remember like that, all that online stuff, like that was like, it was so sick. And that was like the moment I'm like, fuck, this is hard.
I don't know what it's. I think it's going to be used for sure for meetings and stuff.
Yeah. yeah
Eventually, if it's when it's integrated into the business
And,
world.
Like more porn stuff too.
Oh yeah. Well, isn't the porn industry like one of the biggest in the world?
Yeah, super. No,
They literally
Like, they like I. Know,
They
like,
shape how things are
yeah,
streamed. I've
I
heard
know,
that.
like I know from the transition to like from like Betamax to VHS, that was all porn. The
Yeah.
porn, that's literally like.
I heard
since-
that too, and from DVDs
yeah,
too, right?
Porn started like transitioning over, so everyone else started transitioning over.
Is it the same with internet? Did streaming,
don't know.
online streaming? I don't know.
But like, yeah, porn, yeah, because like everyone, everyone's fucking beating their dick off.
Yeah,
to porn.
yeah.
So that's
Gotta
why.
cut that out. Cut that out.
who are you gonna show this to? If they,
on YouTube, yo.
yeah, but like, there's no, yeah, talking to your mic. By the way, I feel like a producer now, talking to your mic. But yeah, no.
Just bring that. Joe says, bring that sucker
Yeah.
real close there.
Then just you have to embrace it.
Yeah, fair enough.
You already talked about freaking your enhancing plant that helped you write your book.
Have you ever tried nootropics, by the way?
No, what's that?
Cognitive enhancer, like
No.
vitamins. It's
No.
cool stuff. I'm taking them right now. Like it's basically just like a
You're on it
vitamin.
right now.
I am. It's not like
Cognitive
a.
enhancer.
It's not like a drug.
Supplements.
Just look up nootropic.
Yeah, I found
like
it.
a lot of
I
it's.
found it right here.
A lot of it's placebo, but like
Particularly executive functions, memory, creativity, or motivation in healthy individuals.
it's good, yo. It's just like vitamins. Like
So are you like ascended right now? Like, is your mind?
no, I just feel.
do you
I feel
different?
like a lot more fluent. Like when
Yeah.
I talk. Like not. It's not like I'm smarter. Like
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know anything that
But
I
you
didn't
can
know
articulate
before.
your thoughts
Yeah,
better.
I can
Yeah.
like speak a lot more
That's good.
clearly, and I can write for sure a lot more clearly.
Yeah.
So it's just like a vitamin, right? Like you can
Yeah.
take vitamin D. You're not going to see anything crazy,
Yeah.
but like it's just healthy for you. It's
Okay.
healthy for
Yeah.
your brain, right? Because your brain's a muscle.
Yeah.
I think we're probably good to wrap this up.
You want to?
Yeah. For like an hour and
58 minutes.
58 minutes?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's pretty good.
That's good for first
That's
episode
pretty
for
good.
sure.
Yeah. That is pretty good. And the battery's about to die. Okay.
All right, perfect timing.
You can
Sorry.
outro then, bud.
All right, signing off. This is James and Joe, and that was Higher Dialogue. Hope
Yeah.
you enjoyed it.
Tune in next time.